the incredible John Charles Holmes. What
Hello.
if John Holmes was Charles? But you've always been John Charles Holmes. You probably look at me and say, what if John Holmes but Carl? Because
Yeah,
there's,
what if John Charles, but I was not Charles and then
I
also
know,
Jonathan. I
I
don't know. There's
know.
there's a lot of there's a lot of math that goes into our names. Like it's not they're not complete circles. They're a Venn diagram, but they're pretty darn overlapped. And I don't even know what your middle name is. Your middle name could be Charles. We don't know how deep this goes.
I know it is Carl with a C, so it's
Oh,
JCH also works for me. It's
oh,
really,
geez.
I
This is new
know.
information to me. This is like I did not know this. This is like even more like this is very scandalous. I had no clue.
When I watched the best movie ever made, Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness. It's not the best, but it still made me think of us because Doctor Strange meets like another Doctor Strange and they're like kind of the same guy but different guys. He's
Mhm.
got like a goatee and long hair, That's how I see it. That you're like the alternate universe, younger, more interesting me. And you look what you did in here in this issue.
Oh
If
yeah,
you
I
if
wrote
you
like 8,000 something words about
so much.
Rhythm Heaven. I wrote many words about it.
You can see John Charles's name in the John Charles section of this magazine, and the John Charles section is, of course, the rhythm section.
It's a thing of
You're,
beauty.
yeah, it is. It's so cool. The poster's in here too, I think. I'll unfold it. So I'm not here to just promote our magazine, Nintendo Force. I'm here to promote you as a living, breathing expert on this series, the Rhythm Heaven series. And maybe we should start by talking about your old zine because that haunts you like a unprofitable ghost. Because it was such a cool idea. People bought it, people loved it, but selling physical media and succeeding at selling it doesn't necessarily mean you'll turn a profit.
Oh yeah, I
It's
mean
so stressful.
I mean I work in production and product fulfillment now. I'm the marketing manager at the Yeti, and before then I was a warehouse manager and then a web content manager at Pusheen. So I've worked a lot and actually like selling stuff and getting it shipped out to people. But Rhythm Goku was the first time I ever did it, and I knew nothing about it. And I tried to sell. I was right out of college, so I was just like, a college student, didn't have the most resources, the most money. So I understood I was asking people to volunteer like a lot of their like time and work for the zine, but it was something I couldn't necessarily directly compensate them for. So I said, I will just charge exactly what it cost me to make this thing, which in theory should work, but what no one tells you is that there's so much overhead on making things because like
Mm,
stuff gets ruined, stuff gets lost in the mail. Shipping just costs more than it did. I did not
mm,
restrict shipping to the United States, and so like I had a
mm,
general idea of how much it would cost to ship to most parts of the United States. But then people from like Canada and Mexico started ordering, and then orders from like South America, and it was like, oh, this costs so much more than shipping something to like Kansas, and now I'm losing money out of pocket to just
yep.
get this zine to the people who paid to have it. But
Hmm.
I don't know, it was still a fun thing to do, I guess for context for anybody watching or listening about what this was back in 2015, I think. This was around the time when Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix had come out in Japan, but had not even been announced for America yet. But
Mm,
what had been announced was that the producer and the longtime producer and series composer, Sunku-san, had been diagnosed with laryngeal cancer. And at the time, no one was really kind of sure what that was going to look like, but I think he kind of announced that he was going to like softly retire.
hmm.
Um, that dude has a history of actually being like a big time producer in Japan. I guess he's kind of like the Japanese Quincy Jones or something,
Hmm.
where like I mean there's a whole section in it by my good friend Brian. He wrote a little write up on Sunku in the magazine, and he
Oh
talks a
yeah.
bit about like his history like producing for acts like Morning Musume and stuff, and he does the music for these games. And he announced that with the cancer, he can't sing anymore, and as such, he was probably going to just softly retire from music production entirely. And so that also kind of was like really nerve-wracking for anyone who's a Rhythm Heaven fan, because it's like the music is the heart and soul of that game. If you don't have the guy who's responsible for composing that music and bringing musicians to make it happen, do you even still have a game anymore? And this was at a time when I think like Rhythm Heaven was still not very not beloved in the US. I think Rhythm Heaven Gold did pretty good actually. Like I came across this in my research. I think that the DS game actually did pretty well in America. I always thought that this game was a flop, but it did really well. But
Mm,
Fever, the Wii game, the Wii entry, that was the one where it just didn't really do great at all because that was like the
mm,
end of the Wii's lifespan. Like everybody was playing Skyward Sword, so that's what the
mm,
hotness was. Like I begged people to play that game, and nobody wanted to play it. They all wanted to play Skyward Sword, and then throw their Wii's in the trash. They were done with them.
mm,
So, there was definitely like I knew there were a couple people out there who really loved the game, like our good friend Colette Bennett. Like she's the one who
mm,
introduced me to the series, and I knew the people who liked the game loved it a lot, but there weren't a lot of people. And I had this idea that like, well, maybe it'd be really cool because like people are starting to do these like collabs and these art zines online and stuff. Maybe it'd be cool to do that for Rhythm Heaven and get folks to do an illustration, one for each song and all of the at the time three games.
mm,
For something about like I think it was about like maybe like 200 something illustrations. Like maybe I can manage to find like 200 people who love this game and can draw who would like to do something for this as a way just to kind of show our thanks to Sunku and the rest of that team about like, hey, like at least in America, someone loves this game and it means a lot to us. And I put up like a Tumblr post. I had an email, a Gmail set up for it, and within the week, it was full of people who
mm,
were showing up and they were like, I want to do something for this. I want to do something for this. And not just kind of just like scrappy, just like young college graduates like me, but I was getting like folks like Natasha Allegri and Casey Green were reaching out. You reached out. A lot of people that I met through this scene that are much like bigger, like big wigs now, like people like Adrian, the developer behind In Stars in Time, or Kevin Fagarigan, the illustrator. Like these are people that reached out to me to do stuff with this zine, and like it filled up in like 2 or 3 weeks, and everybody had such amazing illustrations. Like everybody had these great illustrations. A couple people wrote prose. One of my friends made like a physical like puppet of the ninja dog from the DS game, and she gave me the puppet when it was done and stuff. And if I
mm.
remember correctly, I think you sent me the original painting that you made for it because you did
Oh, the
the quiz
quiz.
theme, the
Yeah,
gene.
yeah, yeah. From the
Yeah, yeah.
I'll show this off too, real quick. So Rhythm Heaven Groove is out. Go buy it. But
Mhm.
inside it, I'm deciding to keep the Game Boy cartridge too,
Oh, that's
because I feel
perfect.
like these two are like
Do I
very
have
much
mine?
related. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. The I feel like Groove for those who. Oh, look at that! So
Yeah, I
good.
got this on my honeymoon.
That's sweet. Did you ever open it? It's got stickers in there.
Yeah, because like that's the great thing about retro games in Japan is that like they'll be like, "Oh, sorry, the quality of this thing is like as is. I'm so sorry, it couldn't get you any better." You get the box and like literally like every single like paper insert that comes with it, and it's like in pristine condition. Like used games are not like used games are taken such good care of in Japan, and they
Yeah.
are so modest about it. It's a wonderful thing.
That's I'm so glad you got that. But yes, the zine was amazing. I think I sent you it was a marker drawing, but the real wet markers, so it looked like watercolor of the quiz. I
Mhm.
wanted it to be so much better. I cared so much about contributing as good art as I could within my time constraints for the zine, and it's one of my favorite things that I own. And I'm wondering, why do you think it is that this series resonates with artists in such a way? Because I find that trying to convince people to play this series is a little bit like
Mhm.
when I like something that I find out only other people who like to draw as you do, or people who like to make music. Like there's certain things they say it's like, your favorite artist or whatever. I feel like Rhythm Heaven has proven to be like your favorite person who draws video game characters' favorite video game series a lot of the time. So, what do you think it is that makes this series click with artists, but maybe not click with non-artists so much?
I think a lot of the early adopters of the game, I think they just really picked up on how art and visually driven the series is. Because I mean, like you're talking about a game that would have come out right before the what I would call like the boom of rhythm games in America, maybe in the middle of that, which I would say kind of like where like rhythm games really blasted into the mainstream between like the explosion of Dance Dance Revolution in the early 2000s all the way up to like the end of like the Guitar Hero phase in like the mid 2000s. You have these games that like when a casual person sees DDR or they see Rock Band, what they see is like all these shapes coming down at you at super fast speeds, and you have to get them all right. And you're constantly being told, good, good, bad, great, perfect, good, bad. And it's just like, it's such a sensory overload, and you get so much out of it. And um, there's a lot of like I find a lot of creative gamers out there. They're really gentle-hearted. Like it's really
Mm,
hard to get some of these artists to play like big AAA action games because they're just depressed by how violent they are and how brown they are and how angry they are and how masculine they are and stuff. And like they just have these really soft hearts. And when you
mm,
play something like Rhythm Heaven, there is no UI telling you how you're doing. Like there's barely even a UI in the menu itself. Like in most of the games, the UI is literally just like a little tiny square with an illustration in it, and you click it, and then the game starts. Like
mm,
there's so little like feedback about how you're doing. There's so little feedback about when you're doing bad. Like even when you do bad, the game doesn't even say you failed. The game says try again. Like
mm,
it's such like a soft it's got such a soft, warm heart, and it's got the heart of artists behind it, which is
mm,
funny coming from the WarioWare games being so like kind of mean-spirited. And I mean that as a compliment. Like the WarioWare games are so mean-spirited because the hook of the game is like Wario just sees games as an easy way to make a quick buck. And so you're not playing good games of WarioWare. You're playing cheap games that are intended to make him a lot of money. They're such mean games, but Rhythm Heaven is like that same concept, but the nice version of that, where it's like
mm,
instead of being something from someone who just wants to make a quick buck off you, this is someone who wants to connect with you. They want to teach you to love music. They want to teach you to improve your rhythm. Um, Ko just really loves drawing like cute animals and cute girls, and that also resonates with people and stuff. And like I don't know, just everything about the game is just designed to just really make you feel welcome and taken care of and loved, I think. And I think like when the games were new, I think that was really unusual, and I think people really responded to that. And now we have like cozy games as a genre of games, and like in the 10 years between these two Rhythm Heaven games, there's been so many like Rhythm Heaven clones and stuff like Bits and Bops or Rhythm Doctor or Melatonin. Like I
mhm.
was showing this game to my sister. She was visiting last weekend, and she knew about Melatonin. She was like, "Oh, this is like Melatonin," and I'm like, "No, Melatonin is like this." And
Yeah.
now it's like we have like ways to describe these kind of games, and people have a taste for them and stuff. And I think like these games are less weird Japan now and more just kind of
Mm,
just cozy games and like artistically driven games. And like it's been really cool to see like way much more excitement for Groove, and like there's been a rediscovery of Fever in like the last like 3 or 4 years too. That's been really awesome to see, even though the game costs like $200 now for a used copy.
does
Like
it?
it's really expensive. Like I think like Giant Bomb started streaming the game, and the people were like, "Wait, that's what this game is like?" And then like it went from like being like a $5 game and everybody wanted it, and now it's like a couple $100 for a copy. Like
Wow.
same
Jeez.
thing happened to MJ Lammy when GH no Rodney Greenblatt was like, "Yeah, I guess Lammy's gay," and then everybody went to go buy it, and the game went from being 99 cents to like a $200 game.
I had no idea. I was just taking selfies with my copy of Jamer Lammy, and no one can stop Mr. Domino because that's the kind of 49-year-old I am. But I'm curious, do you think that, and you were part of this, so it's a leading question. I feel like Rhythm Heaven's time, and particularly Fever, I don't think Groove actually clicks in this way as well as
Mhm.
Fever did. It's a meme game for a lot of people. It is a
Yeah.
sweet candy. I have no idea what this is, random humor, but like conveys a feeling really intensely in a way that like was born for short form video. But
Mhm.
short form video just hadn't quite happened yet when Fever came out. And to your point before, one of the reasons I think Fever bombed is because it was a mini game collection and people just were like, I can buy those at CBS for $5. Like, I don't know if you remember how mini game collections were just everywhere,
I mean,
like
yeah, I mean,
for the
that you're
Wii.
talking about the era of carnival games, and
Yes,
that was like the poster child for the kind of like shovelware that was on the Wii was carnival games.
right. And people expected that, but didn't. The people who liked it loved it, as you said. And then they made like Kevin, who you mentioned earlier. He
Mhm.
made the rhythm. What did he call it? The animated.
He did a Rhythm Reanimated about
That's
like
it.
5 years ago or so. Yeah, yeah.
And that got more than a few views, and that had some amazing artists that
Yeah, and I do actually
collaborated
think
on it.
that's probably a little responsible too for also helping to boost some attention on the series because like he hit 1 million views in that really quickly and it coincided really nicely with like Giant Bomb playing through Rhythm Heaven Fever and giving that game a boost. So like it just kind of was like a weird like afterburner of like love for the game from a bunch of people who I think knew it existed but probably just knew like the Beyonce commercial and had no idea that like wait, they made a rhythm WarioWare game, and this game is like funny and it's really
Mm.
cool, and the music is really good. Like it was news to people that this is what Rhythm Heaven was like.
It's so hard for people to get that feeling from just a person like me being like, you're gonna love this, or like anytime you try to give something away to people, they often feel like, oh, I don't want to take it. But if they feel
Mm,
like they stumbled upon it on their own and somebody cool is promoting it, then they suddenly like want to get on board. And that kind of internet connection with people. And that's how memes tend to work too. If I'm like, hey, you want to see this funny meme? You'll be like, eh. But if you're just clicking around and you find it, and you're like, oh, wow, this is funny. I'll spread this around. So I feel like that flavor, that meme flavor of Fever helped it to spread, ironically given the name afterwards. Groove, I'm
yeah.
feeling like is not catching on in that way. But before I get to that, I had something I wanted to ask you. I
Hmm.
actually prepared ideas, which was wonderful because you're so important. Beyonce being doing the ad for the DS game, which was called
Mm.
Rhythm Heaven here. It was called Rhythm Tengoku Gold in Japan, if I remember correctly.
That's
Such a
correct.
mismatch. I feel, and I don't know if I've talked to you about this before, but when I'm tired or confused, which is most of the time, my mind will suddenly wander to like, who's the music equivalent of like Mario? And I'll be like, oh, that's Paul McCartney, like a crowd
Mm.
pleaser. Everybody likes him, but like a little dopey sometimes. Like, I love Paul McCartney, but let it be, let it be. Like, I get it. And sometimes Mario is a little like, oh, I get it, Mario. You're doing the same thing again. Paul McCartney, Mario, Lennon, and Zelda goes on like that in my
And
brain.
they both have wings. They both have wings too.
That's what people have wings. You're so right. Um, I think that Rhythm Heaven is the Nirvana, the band
Mm.
of bands, because they're kind of a band, but they're kind of not. In that Rhythm Heaven, like it almost feels like it's appropriating culture. It appropriated the whole rhythm genre, but then said, what if instead of making it like sheet music, the game, it made it play like truly just goofing around. Even when you fail, it's funny. And it was created by a music guy who's like a genius, Sunko, and then the game developers at WarioWare who are just like, we just know how to be funny and weird. Like we don't know what we're doing, which is also how Nirvana, the band, came together, as far as I know, is Matt
Mm.
Johnson and I can't remember, Jay Carroll. Jay Carroll,
Yes.
great at music. Matt Johnson, just exuberantly weird, can't help himself. And they just got together and have been making that thing forever, even when it's not super popular. Like they don't give up and they just keep going as Rhythm Heaven has gone on. So that's my parallel. What do you think? Is there a better one, or does that feel right
Mm.
to you?
No, I was trying to think, and I honestly I think that is a good example because like obviously like there's a lot of people that make the Rhythm Heaven come together, but I think for a lot of people it really is that combination of like Ko's art and Simku's music, and
Hmm.
like it really does feel like a weird pairing of like here is a career music genius in Japan, and then you have a guy and it's like, why is this game about plucking onions? I don't know, man. I thought it was funny. I guess no one else thinks it's funny. I think it's funny. It's like that's just kind of how it's such a weird pairing, and it works so well.
Yeah, and they're both really like artists see both of them. Artists I know will see Nirvana the band and be like, that's just me and my friends. And when you play Rhythm Heaven, you're like, this is the kind of game I wish I had the creative freedom. Even indie
Hmm.
devs will tell me like, how did they get away with this? Do you remember the Bossa Nova level in Fever?
Yeah, because there's a really good. I think we read the same. Iwata Ask interview where they even act I didn't think they'd actually ask them about it, but it was like,
Yeah.
hey, so what's going on with the sounds in that? And they're like, yeah, we know. We like how embarrassed people get when they're playing it. It's great. And I don't know if you've ever played like the Japanese version of Fever, but the
Yes.
sounds are significantly more erotic in that version. Like it's pretty intense in the American one, but that's the toned down version of it. It's wild.
Yeah, I bought Fever, I imported it and played through the whole thing, and then was a little, at times I liked the localization a little more, but the Japanese original is what we still like sing in the house. Piki piki
Yeah.
piki desu ka, as
I
opposed
mean,
to what
it just has better mouthfeel, you
it
know. And
just has
the
better
one that gets me
mouthfeel.
is the rappers, the love raps, because they say into
Oh,
you, which is
yeah,
so awkward as opposed to like a daisuki,
I
daisuki,
know.
daisuki. It's like these songs are written around like these Japanese like consonants and syllables, and it's just like
Hmm.
they gotta fit so much like words to make it work in English to communicate the ideas and the songs and stuff. Because I saw some people
Yeah,
complaining like, "Oh, it's they were so lazy, they didn't translate the songs in Groove," and I'm like, "You don't understand. Like, it's weird they even gave us like the option to switch Japanese in the 3DS game. Like, this is
yep.
pretty cool. And there's like French and Italian songs in Groove too. It's like they're doing all sorts of weird stuff in this game. It's great."
Yeah, I agree. I agree. We've covered so much. That was just like a hour long podcast worth of stuff that we covered in like 5 minutes. So just to backtrack for people, Bossa Nova and Fever, if you look up that level, it's little wood imps playing volleyball with unseen characters, but they sound like they're doing it. They sound like they're humping.
Yeah, and like
And
when you mess up, the sound they make is like very intense and forceful, and it's like whoa, okay.
bump, bump, like, oh no.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, it's I can't believe they snuck that in there. So yeah, I wanted to give that quick context for people that were wondering, but I guess we could move on to Groove because it's been
Mhm.
out for about a month,
Yep,
almost a month. I'm still playing it. My 2-year-old
me
is
too.
actually obsessed with it. He demands it at the end of the night. He says Riven in Heaven, he calls it Riven in Heaven, and he wants the
That would have been a
clapping
good name
game.
for it. That would
I
have been a really
know,
good name
right?
for it.
Riven in Heaven. And there's later on, one of the funniest levels for sight gags for me is the I can't remember what they're called, the like the high fivers or something.
Oh yeah, the high fivers. That one, I
Yeah.
oh God, that one
They're
got me
clapping
good.
like this. Yeah, me too. And he just claps along with it and he's totally obsessed with it. So I'm still playing it to entertain him and to try to get medals and whatnot. I still haven't beat the RPG mode. But when I played it, I felt like it is the most extreme Rhythm Heaven.
Hmm.
And that can be a good or a bad thing. It felt like it was in some ways less crowd pleasing. Like I immediately felt like,
Yeah.
oh, this the wrestler from Rhythm Heaven Fever, people that's been riffed on with so many different variations. Like somebody put Snoop Dogg in there, somebody put like everybody's been in a remix of that.
Mm.
I don't see any of these end up going
It
viral like that.
it's oh, but okay, 'cause the wrestler stuff is like they snuck a little bit of wrestler in there. I don't know if you caught it or not.
Oh, in the racing, in the
Yeah,
multiplayer?
because when you
Yeah,
win,
yeah.
it plays the da, 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 da,
Yeah,
and I was
I
like,
was
oh, I know what
excited.
this is.
Yeah, I was excited about that. But in terms of just like a visual,
Hmm.
the wrestler level from Fever, just a sweaty masked guy suddenly going, "No," like that's just hilarious. And
Hmm.
people immediately get it's like a built-in punchline that works in any language. And the guy's not even speaking, but the fact that he suddenly is so obsessed with showing his muscles is just funny. I don't know if Groove has anything that works quite that well. I am incredibly charmed by the woman cutting the vegetables. Like
Oh yeah,
I'm
she's great.
yeah, I want her in Smash Brothers for sure. And but it's only her from that angle and it's only her cutting vegetables for all of her moveset. But it doesn't have the same like viral comedy to it. There was a ton of funny levels and the one we were talking about, the high
Hmm.
fivers is one, but it's funny in a way that I don't see it necessarily going all over the internet and becoming remixed. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
But yeah, what are your
I
thoughts?
I see like kind of two. I feel kind of I see kind of two kind of things about the game because like I like this game. I love this game, and I'm so happy it exists. I have such weird, complicated feelings about it, and I'm like thinking about this a lot for like writing my review coming up for Nintendo Force. And I think there's like a quick 20-second history on this thing too is that like you have Ko Takuchi, and if you look at Ko's art from like the early 2000s in WarioWare, it has this very specific pop art kind of look, a very pop art Y2K, very American cartoon inspired look. It's got these thick lines, characters are very like solid shapes, solid silhouettes. They have solid forms and stuff. And the more comfortable I think Ko has gotten as an artist personally, and also I think the more visibility he's gotten, the more he's been experimenting in his personal art. And I think
Mm,
that same personal experimentation has been showing up more in the games themselves. Because like the first Rhythm Heaven looks so much different than like Fever, which looks so much different from the 3DS one, which looks even more different than this one. Though I think
mm,
there were a couple times where like I think Ko does kind of like go back to like that classic look. But
mm,
like he kind of went from making like he would make characters that would have these kind of like very solid shapes, and now they're kind of more dumpy and they're soft, and he has thinner lines.
mm.
Like that's what his personal art kind of looks like, and I think you see a lot of that in Groove, and I don't think it necessarily creates these characters that are like I don't think they have as much of like a global appeal, though I think anyone can look at them when they're supposed to be cute, they feel cute. When they're supposed to be funny, they feel funny and stuff. But on top of this too, I think you and I chatted about this a little bit too. There's a lot of artists credited on this game, and like there's always been a lot of artists on these games, but there's a lot of illustrators on credited on this game who are working alongside Ko. And I have a hunch that Ko might be acting a bit more in like an artistic director perspective. And there's definitely characters throughout the game that feel like characters that like he made, like the little umbrella dudes, or like
Mm,
I love the one with the windshield wiper guys,
hmm.
where it zooms out and there's like a whole like Fast and the Furious like Yakuza crew. Like those
Yeah,
guys are great.
yeah.
Like these feel like in line with like classic Rhythm Heaven characters, but then you have stuff that just is like just somewhere else, just kind of like visually. Like the first thing that comes to mind is there's a couple stages where the art is actually like this weird kind of lineless look where it almost looks like a collage. And there's
Hmm.
like that robot dude whose job is like to pick up the flan at work and stuff.
I
And like
know. And
it,
the
it doesn't look
rendering,
like
like the intensity of the color on that level, like really blew my brain because it's not what you expected. And I felt like this being, depending on how you count it, the fourth or fifth Rhythm Heaven game. I felt like they had this urge to give you something you've never had before and also make
Mhm.
up for the fact that prior games didn't succeed. So they're like, I guess we need to do something new. And also it makes for a game that doesn't feel as cohesive in a lot of ways. I feel like at its peaks, it is the best Rhythm Heaven game.
Mhm.
And that at its not peaks, it just feels a little more muddy and harder for me to even interpret.
Like it's confusing at times, and I'm happy that a game that like is in its fifth entry where I know exactly what I want from it. I like the surprise. It's a very surprising game. I think the game is full of surprises, and I like when it's surprising with things like the couple of stages that fall back on stock images in really
Oh
weird
yeah.
ways. Like that was genuinely shocking. Like
Yeah.
it was surprising to hear songs in other languages. It was
Hmm.
surprising to see like stages and characters drawn in different illustrative styles than Ko's usual work and stuff. Like the
Hmm.
game overall is just like very surprising. So I'm very happy that this game, like after like spending almost 20 years with this series, has found a way to surprise me. And that's a really, really great feeling, especially when I thought we'd never get one again. Because like
Yep.
the 3DS one is incredibly safe because it's just it's literally a compilation of all three games and a couple of new ones. Like it was a very safe game and it was really good for it was I think it's what the series needed at that time, especially when
Hmm.
like, hey, you might have missed these first two games. Here's a chance to just play everything and the first game in America at the same time in one nice little package. And this is something different, and I feel like I can see the journey of like this team and Ko and Sunku. I know them better as artists than I did when I first encountered this series. So it's really cool seeing like I can feel the growth of their thumbprints on it. And it's like,
Hmm.
yes, this does feel like the Ko of 2026. Yes, this does feel like a Sunku that's like 10 years removed from when he was diagnosed with cancer, or there's a lot more collaborations in it musically, even, which makes a lot of sense. It's like this feels like the sort of game that people who have been willing to change and grow and maybe get a little tired of the same thing and just want to experiment, it feels like that kind of game. And I that's what I think is really cool about. Like I think that's the most interesting thing about this game is that like, it's like the whole thing about like, oh, like Picasso was really good at drawing portraits. He got bored and started just drawing
Mm,
abstract paintings and became a great abstract painter. And this game is a Picasso painting. Like that's what it
mm,
is.
hmm. It is much more abstract and surprising. And you could tell that. somehow in modern Nintendo, who in my opinion is getting less and less weird
Hmm.
over time. I think Iwata was the kind of standard bearer and bring the torch forward with Nintendo. Like we need to keep ourselves weird. I'm going to hold the bananas in the middle of this direct. I'm going to do these long interviews, even though I run the whole company with so many different developers to get the taste of them as artists out there. That is drifting away a little bit without Iwata, and yet this game still came to be and is it the weirdest Rhythm Heaven yet, you
I
think?
think it is. I think it
Yeah,
easily is.
yeah, I think so
Like
too. But
it's
also
got
the
that moon
deepest.
game. It's got that moon game.
Oh, that moon game. So such because yeah, I immediately thought of, as older Nintendo fans might, of Majora's Mask. And
Hmm.
whenever I see a moon on a game that's published by Nintendo, I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be bad. And then it's just sneezing at, what are they called? The family or something?
Yeah, they're called the family in the credits. So I don't know I don't know if they're ghosts or like Earthbound style cultists. It's really not clear.
Oh, but they're happy. The moon gets so mad if he sees them. So you can only get past them while he's sneezing and his eyes are closed. It's an incredible concept. So many still things I still want to talk to you about. Real quick, your thoughts. The original 2025 reveal of Groove had that
Hmm.
kitchen lady I talked about in a completely different art style, and
Yes, I
I didn't
saw
even
this.
notice until later. And then when it came out, it's that flat lines. The original style looked like it took a ton to render that. Like it was not just thrown together. It doesn't look like temp art, and some people I've talked to prefer that. But I love so much that I saw it get coified and I was like, ah, that's my rhythm heaven. Do you have thoughts about that transition? Do you feel like that means anything that
Hmm.
they coified it along the way? And I
I
wonder
mean,
why.
I have a hunch what we were just seeing was probably just like an early prototype of it because like they talk before about like hey like Co makes the art when they're like trying to prototype this stuff and it's placeholder art and stuff and
That was
I
such good placeholder art, though. It's like I can't make a pot look that shiny in the background. Like it looked great. I wonder if they go all out sometimes. And I just weirdly saw an interview with a guy I do not like, who's Gene Simmons, the bass player for Kiss, but he made a decent point, which is when you do like a song, you actually want to peel away as many notes as you can
hmm.
to still get your point across, and your point will be more intense if you can do it with less notes. And I wonder if they did that with the art. They like peeled away, like maybe we don't need to like shade everything in this. Flat colors, will it still work and maybe even be better? Because when you're visually stimulated from everything you're seeing, it's hard to focus on the rhythm as much.
Oh yeah, especially if
Um,
you're playing on a television where it's
mm.
just bigger.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was just I wanted to get your pulse on that, and I'll tell you one of my complaints about Groove, and I want to know your opinion while we still have time. The fact that it says, "Hey, for certain televisions, this game's not going to work."
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, so is it me or is it the TV? Like the first hour, I was wondering, did I screw up or did I not calibrate it correctly? Because you calibrate the game at the beginning in order to try to to make up for input delay. But maybe I was just terrible at calibrating because
No,
calibrating
it's the
is,
thorn in my side. I can't
you
get this
too?
game to work on my television to save my life. I'm so
Oh
glad I can play it as a
no.
handheld game.
Yep.
I think personally, I think it's better as a handheld game than as a TV game. Being able to play it on a TV is nice because it's easier to share, and
Mhm.
also too, the multiplayer in this game is really good. I think the
Yeah.
core game is good. I think the multiplayer is fantastic. This is
Yep.
like it feels like the main event in my opinion. It's the best
Mhm.
multiplayer the series has ever had. And
Yep.
so like being able to play it on a big TV would definitely be my preference, but come on, man. I need you to tell me like let me do a calibration. Tell me if I'm slow. Tell me if I'm fast. Give me the numbers so I can even go in and adjust it manually. It's not a good
Yeah.
calibration setting and it's like you can't if you don't have it working, you can't do anything and it's really
Mhm.
sad and it makes me upset, but at least if it's really not working, you just pull it out your dock, play it, and it just works perfectly. So or
Yep.
plug in headphones. I've been using headphones when I played it on the TV actually, so that's how I've been
Ah,
doing it at home. So
interesting.
there are options. There are options. I just wish it was. I just wish they gave you a little bit more. It's a very Nintendo decision, and
Yeah.
it's like a little bit more actual control, a little like pulling back that curtain on that one aspect would have been really nice.
I think they actually say, hey, sometimes you're going to lose and it's not even your fault. Sometimes you're going to win and you shouldn't have. I hope you have fun. I was just like, no, I need to get my perfects and my rainbow perfects. And now there's
And there's also
nighttime.
night mode. Have you heard about
Night.
night mode?
I got one night mode. I can unlock night mode with the dog level where you can basically play it in your sleep. Where the one of my favorite character designs is this frisbee catching dog that's like on some other planet.
I love that dog
I
state. I
know
actually
that
really
dog
like it
is
a lot.
so me too. And to your point, it's more abstract and weird than any other co-drawn dog before. Like it's all
It
white.
is.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Anywho, I got night mode on that, and the screen just turns black, and there's stars because the game's called Miracle Stars in Japan. And then you just see the moon, I think from the same level as
Hmm.
where does that moon show up? I think with the dinosaur, the super weird
Hmm.
dinosaur whose neck stretches. He goes to the world of Sleepy Buys sometimes, and there's like a sickle moon. That moon shows up. But if you screw up, it then says like, look how you screwed up in night mode. You said you get to see it again for a second, like the actual level. Then it just goes back to stars and moons. So,
Dang, that's wild. I
yeah.
have not hit any night modes yet. I still got to finish the game proper. I am still chipping through the flip side. I've gotten the second credits, so
Oh,
I think I'm
okay.
like I think I'm getting close to the end of the game because like
Yep.
I've just been traveling a lot for like work and concerts and stuff. So like I've just
Oh,
been playing it in like my hotel room and in green rooms and stuff because it's like this is a really much like the DS game. It's just a nice game to just sit in bed and just play for like an hour, and it makes me nice and sleepy, and then I get a really nice sleep. So. I've been enjoying it in that way. It's been nice to it again. I like it as a handheld game. I think it's a really nice
mm,
handheld game.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, we're almost out of time. Is there anything we missed? Is there anything you
I
want to
mean,
talk about? Did we
I
just?
would. There's not enough time. I would love to talk more about the multiplayer because I seriously can't stress enough that like I think the multiplayer is so good that I'm like,
Mm,
this is the main game. The single player feels like the extra feature to the multiplayer because the
yep.
multiplayer feels and looks a lot more like classic Rhythm Heaven. And
Hmm.
I think the games are just like so much more like addicting as games in multiplayer. They're really, really fun. So if
Yeah.
anyone has it and you haven't played the multiplayer, at least you can do it with two people. At least get one other person and
I
seriously play that multiplayer. It's
I
fantastic.
I just pretend to be two people because nobody wants to hang out with me. So I take out both controllers and then like Tron Nuts is my because it tells the guy's name and then Buddy or Sweetie and I just play both and it is a lot of I play as two people with both hands. I mean, and it does have some of the Game Boy Advance games in there like the onion plucking,
Hmm.
but it has new ones like that. Wrestler running. It has a game of memory concentration where you
That one's
flip cards over.
bonkers.
I know,
Or
but you don't actually need to have good rhythm. You need to remember rhythms correctly, which is
or
so
like
cool.
if one game has meme power, it's Cake Weight. Cake Weight is like
Oh, I
Cake Weight's in
know.
like my top 10 Rhythm Heaven games ever.
Cake
That
weight is
game
so
is
good.
so good. Cake Weight is
Yeah.
fantastic.
I agree. There's a fun treehouse video of Bill Trinan, I think, playing that and just being like, "Sorry, I beat you again," because he loves that series. I agree everything you're saying, and also I love the RPG mode. It to me, it felt like Ring Fit Adventure, but for rhythm. And
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind a whole RPG where battles are done that way too. But we
Yeah,
don't.
that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, I hope they do that. I hope the game is a huge hit. I hope that they pass the torch. It feels like it might be a potential pass the torch game if the folks who have been making it for a while are ready to hang up. That doesn't mean the series has to end. I would love to see it with a new producer. I'd love to see Nirvana the band make their own Rhythm Heaven game. How good would that be?
I mean,
They're
they're huge gamers. Maybe they'll make an episode about it in the new season they're making because I know they are working on a new season of their show. So maybe
That's
there'll be a
great.
Rhythm Heaven episode.
If Nintendo, if you're watching this, call them up. They love you, you love them, or you should, and it's gonna be amazing. That was John Charles, everybody. He's gone. We miss him already. Goodbye.